I stayed for 18 years. And if you think this is just about love, it's not. Because of what I'm about to tell you, I didn't understand until the very end. Not because everything was good, but because I kept believing it would be again. And that belief, that's what kept me there longer than anything else. And that's the part no one tells you. It doesn't start with pain. It starts with something that feels safe, close, real. And that's why it's so hard to see what's coming next. Because then, slowly, something changes. Not all at once, just enough for you to notice, but not enough for you to leave. And that's where it begins. Because the first time he gave me the silent treatment, and I didn't think it was manipulation. I thought he just needed space. And that moment, that's where everything started shifting without me realizing it. Because here's the part most people miss. That silence, it wasn't absence, it was control. And I didn't see it, not then. Because when you love someone, you don't immediately assume they're hurting you on purpose. You explain it, you soften it, you justify it. And slowly, you start adjusting yourself to something that was never healthy. And every time I tried to talk, he would disappear. Emotionally first, then physically. And here's what that does to you. It trains you. Without you even noticing, it teaches you that asking questions leads to distance, that expressing feelings leads to disconnection. So what do? You adapt. You stop asking. You stop expressing. You start shrinking. And you don't even realize it's happening because it feels like you're keeping the peace. But you're not. You're losing yourself piece by piece. And the scariest part, you think you're the problem. Because the more silent he became, the louder my mind got. Did I say something wrong? Am I overreacting? Why does this keep happening? And notice this, I wasn't questioning him. I was questioning me. And that's how control really works. Not through force, but through confusion. Because confusion keeps you stuck longer than pain ever will. Pain pushes you away. Confusion keeps you trying to understand, trying to fix, trying to make sense of something that was never meant to make sense. And that's where most people lose years, not in the chaos, but in the confusion. And over time, that becomes your normal. The distance, the silence, the emotional disconnection. Until one day, you don't even remember what clarity felt like. And here's where it gets deeper. Because it wasn't just silence. There were moments, small ones, that didn't match the story I was telling myself. And those moments, they were trying to tell me something. Energy shifts, inconsistencies, little details that didn't add up. And every time I noticed them, I felt it. That feeling in your chest, that quiet voice saying, something's not right, but I ignored it. Not because I didn't see it, but because I didn't want to face what it could mean. Because deep down, I already knew where that truth would lead. And that's the trap. Because when you don't face the truth, you start negotiating with it. You minimize it, you reframe it, you delay it. And every delay costs you more. Until one day, you're not protecting the relationship anymore. You're protecting the lie. And that's when everything started collapsing internally. Because I finally saw it. And that's when I realized I wasn't afraid of losing him. I was afraid of confirming what I already knew. And that fear, it controlled me longer than he ever did. Because as long as I didn't know for sure, I could still pretend, still hope, still delay the inevitable. I could still tell myself, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just my anxiety. Maybe I'm overthinking again, but deep down, there was always something that didn't feel right. And here's what I didn't want to admit. That feeling never went away. It just got quieter. Small things, things that didn't add up. The way he would suddenly become distant without explanation. The way his energy shifted, like he was somewhere else, even when he was right in front of me. And every time I felt it, I ignored it. Because if I didn't, everything would collapse. 18 years, gone. The life I believed in, gone. The version of him I held on to, gone. So I stayed in the middle, not fully trusting, but not fully leaving. And that place, that in between, is where you slowly disappear. Because you're not living in truth, but you're also not free. You're just surviving inside a question you're too afraid to answer. And here's the truth. That question, it already has an answer. You just don't want to say it out loud. And he knew that. He felt it. He knew I wouldn't push too far, that I would stop right before the truth. And that gave him space to keep doing whatever he was doing. Because silence protects the one who is hiding and destroys the one who feels. I became quieter, more careful, less confrontational. Not because I was at peak, but because I was exhausted. Exhausted from feeling crazy. Exhausted from doubting myself. Exhausted from searching for answers that never came. Until one day, something shifted. And this time, it didn't feel like confusion. It felt like clarity. And that's the moment most people don't talk about. Because this is where it gets dangerous. Not for them, for you. Because now, you can't go back to not knowing. And once you see it, really see it, you start remembering things differently. Moments that felt small suddenly feel loud. Conversations that felt normal start to feel off. And you catch yourself thinking, wait, that wasn't okay. But here's the part that pulls you back in. Because even with clarity, there's still attachment. Not to who they are, but to who you believe they were. And that belief, it doesn't disappear overnight. It lingers. It whispers things like, maybe it wasn't that bad. Maybe you're exaggerating. Maybe you should give it one more chance. And that voice, it sounds like you, but it's not you. It's conditioning. Built over years of adapting, of minimizing, of surviving. And if you don't catch it, you go back. Not because you're weak, but because it feels familiar. And familiar can feel like safety. Even when it hurts, that's the trap. Because your mind doesn't just crave love. It craves what it knows, even if what it knows is breaking you. And this is where most people lose themselves again. Not in the relationship, but in the return. Because going back feels easier than rebuilding. Explaining again, it feels easier than letting go. Hoping again feels easier than accepting. But every time you go back, you don't return to the beginning. You return with less of yourself, less voice, less clarity, less strength, and more doubt. And that's the cost no one talks about. Because it's not just about staying, it's about what staying turns you into. Someone who second guesses everything. Someone who walks on eggshells. Someone who feels anxious in a place that's supposed to feel safe. And when you finally see that, really see it, something inside you resists. Not loudly, but firmly. Like a quiet voice saying, I can't keep doing this. And that voice, that's the real turning point. Not the moment you leave, the moment you stop lying to yourself. Because leaving doesn't start with action, it starts with honesty. And honesty breaks the illusion faster than anything else. Because once you admit the truth, even silently, you stop participating the same way. You stop explaining things away. You stop accepting things that don't feel right. You stop overriding your own intuition. And that's when everything shifts again. Not outside, inside. Because now you're not trying to fix it anymore. You're observing it. And that distance, that emotional step back, that's power. Because now you're no longer inside the confusion. You're watching it. And once you can see it without trying to change it, you finally understand something that was always there. It was never unclear. You were just taught to ignore what was clear. And that realization, it changes everything. I realized that not knowing was hurting me more than the truth ever could. In that moment, that's where everything changes. Because once you reach that point, you stop running. And I didn't suddenly become strong. I just became done. Done protecting something that was breaking me. Done ignoring something that was obvious. Done betraying myself. And that's when everything changed. Not outside, inside. Because I stopped asking, what is he hiding? And I started asking, why am I still ignoring this? And that question changes everything. Because now, it's not about them anymore. It's about you. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. And that's uncomfortable. But it's also the beginning. Because now the real question becomes, if I see all of this, why am I still here? And that question is the one that changes your life. Because staying starts to feel heavier than leaving. And that's when the shift happens, quietly. You stop reacting, you stop chasing, you stop explaining, and you start choosing yourself. And once that happens, everything changes. But here's what no one tells you. Clarity doesn't feel like relief at first. It feels heavy. Because now, you can't lie to yourself anymore. And that changes everything. But it also sets you free. And that's how you know this isn't the end of your story. It's the moment you finally take it back. And if this felt familiar, then you already know what comes next.